Beloved, you are welcome to the program this morning. Glad to be your way with the rapture. We are dealing with a lot of Bible prophecies and we are studying on the book of Revelation. And today I have very interesting news to share with you. I'm glad that many of the things that are happening, we've discussed them here before. So that should tell you that the Lord has really been speaking to many of you out there. When we were treating the beast system, I mentioned to you a prophecy of popes by one Saint Malchy. I'll be giving you the details of that. And look at that, what happened over the week. The Pope announced a shocking resignation. That has never happened for 600 years now. And it has just happened. And many people were taken by surprise. For me, it's not a surprise because we've been anticipating a scenario like this. I remember November 26th, 2012, the Pope named 6 global cardinals, and the intention was that they will elect his successor. So it was weird kind of thing. I was not here, so I didn't bring you that news, but we got to understand that something really was going on. Are you getting it? So a lot of curiosity came to light and engulfed the globe with announcements. And the whole thing borders on this prophecy. I mentioned that to you. Those of you who have the series, the Beast System, you can look at the 3rd series. I did a small introduction about that last year. And this is it. For those of you who have not heard about these things before, let me try and see if I can give you something about it. The prophecy is actually a non-biblical prophecy. For non-biblical prophecies, they may not be 100% accurate. But this one, from the past of the prophecies, the things that the prophecy said about the popes, the previous ones till the present one, all prove very accurate. I've looked at those things myself. And it was attributed to one Roman Catholic priest in the 12th century called Saint Malchy. He was an Irish priest, a Kabbalist, and a papal legate for what was called Armagh. It's now Northern Ireland. And he was said to have been on a trip to Rome on the invitation of Pope Innocent II. And while he was in Rome, this Irish priest reportedly had visions about future popes who were to rule the Roman Catholic Church till the end of the world. Are you listening? So Saint Malachy's prophecies basically covered 112 popes from the time of the vision till the end of the world. And the visions were documented as manuscripts and kept in the records of the Vatican. What I want you to notice is that the whole thing is not coming from an anti-Catholic thing, like some Protestants saying he has visions. These things were by a Catholic priest and was kept in the records of the Vatican over the years. And it got to a time nothing was heard about it. People thought it was lost, but it resurfaced again in the late 16th century, that is around 1590 AD, and became a subject of curious analysis. So according to the prophecy, from the time he received the prophecy, there will be 112 popes until the city of Rome is destroyed by God, and then the world comes under what is we now know as the Great Tribulation and all those things from the biblical perspective. Now note this thing. This revered Catholic priest and seer described the future popes in terms of their titles, their talents, birthplace, their education or learning, their zeal, coat of arms, and many other things to make you understand the thing. For instance, I can't go through many of them, just as I did the other time. I'll go through the last 2 ones. That is the 110th Pope, according to his prediction, which was Pope John Paul. This is how he described him in his prophecy. According to him, he described the 110th Pope as the one that comes from, and I quote, from the labor of the sun, talking about the sun up there, unquote. Are you getting it? So, and interestingly, John Paul II was born May 18th, 1920, on a day of a solar eclipse. And at his funeral on April 8th, 2005, there was another solar eclipse. You get a picture. So that's how he described them. And then he described the 111th one as the glory of the olive. And interestingly, the Benedictine order of popes are known as the Olivetans. Are you getting it? It was based on a number of ancient traditions. So when then Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger chose the papal name the Benedictine order to become the Benedict XVI, it lent another credibility to the prophecy that, yeah, what Malachy said. And if you look at the previous ones, everything he said about the popes actually happened. Now, this is what is sparking the controversy following the pope's resignation. The last of the pope, which is the 112th one, according to his prophecy, he described him as Petrus Romanus, that is in the Latin, but then in English is Peter the Roman. Are you getting it? And then he described him as the last of the popes. That is the one coming immediately after Benedict. So if his prophecy is something to go by, let's look at what he said about the last of the pope. This is what he wrote in his prophecy, and I quote, "In extreme persecution, the seat of the Holy Roman Church will be occupied by Peter the Roman, who will feed the sheep through many tribulations, at the time of which the city of 7 hills, that is Rome, will be destroyed, and the formidable judge will judge his people, the end," unquote. So according to his prophecy, this guy who will be coming, so it means the pope that will be coming would, I don't know which of his attributes will fit Peter the Roman, but according to the prophecy, is much revered, studied, a lot of analysis, and I find it very interesting. And beside all the things we've talked about, Israel, nuclear, whatever, this is another interesting thing that is coming. And it is shocking that the Pope will resign, and I think a lot of things is going behind the scenes. And for those of you who are sleeping, you can continue to sleep till eternity. And those of you who want to wake up too, you can wake up. Are you getting it? And he calls him Peter the Roman. Now, after the Pope's resignation, a lot of rating companies or whatever agencies, put bookmakers and all those things up, rating the possible next distance. And I find it interesting that a Ghanaian Cardinal, Peter Texan, is in the lead. Party and Power have drawn up a list of contenders to replace Benedict. And look at it. The first person on the list is what? Ghana's Cardinal Peter Texan. You see, there has been this speculation over the years concerning this last pope that he will be a black. I'll be shocked if a black man becomes the pope. And I think it's no coincidence. Get it? That is the opinion of... Okay, my opinion. Hallelujah. So another company, Ladbrokes, they also conducted their own list of contenders. And guess who is at the top? The same Peter Texan. And do you know what I find interesting about him? I told you the last pope, according to St. Malachy's prophecies, is called Peter the Roman. And among the contenders, we have only one Peter. Is it a mere coincidence? I'm only asking a question. You can think about it. And according to the prophecy, he will bring radical changes in the Catholic Church. That last pope. And a lot of things will happen during his time. And so, I find it interesting that all the international media are interviewing this Ghanaian cardinal, and they are rating him really high. And if I look at the composition of cardinals who are going to elect the next pope, about 177 cardinals, only 11 from Africa, 62 from Europe, and Latin America 19. If it were worldly politics, we will know that maybe based on racial those things, the whites will automatically vote for a white pope or something like that. But if it comes out that despite all these things, this guy is voted for, then it means a lot is happening, and then it is not a coincidence. Then Rome knows what they are doing, and I can't imagine how the ascension of the first black pope will be like. Will St. Malachy's prophecies come to fulfillment? But I personally believe, not based on that prophecy, a number of things that are happening, that we are living in injury time. Are you getting it? On December 3rd, 2012, the Vatican calls for establishment of a new world order and a world government. And guess who was whose department that announcement came from? The department headed by Cardinal Texan, that is the Pontifical Council for Justice and Peace, and that is one of the most revered distinctions in the Vatican. So I must be quick to add that these are opinions. This prophecy cannot be 100% accurate, but it has proven, as far as its past is concerned, that one I can confirm it to you. But I don't know how the future will look like for this prophecy. But we are living in interesting times. And the day he announced the resignation, that's Pope Benedict XVI, there was a lightning strike. It was reported it hit the top of the St. Peter's Basilica. It was reported by major news agencies across the globe. And my friend, North Korea test fired the third nuclear stuff and warned the US and many other things. We are talking about Israel almost getting involved in the Syrian crisis, Obama announcing a mega trade partnership with the EU. So what is happening? The signs are everywhere. We are talking about a new SARS-like virus, which scientists discovered recently. They believe it could spread between people. Jesus said in Luke 21:28, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift your heads, for your redemption draweth near. You got that? So we are living in very interesting times. I'm happy. I know the Lord is coming, and I know each of us will be rewarded.